If you're currently a landlord in British Columbia, or you're looking to buy an investment property to rent out, there's some new rule changes that you need to know about. Effective July 18th, 2024, the amount of time that you need to give a tenant if you're asking them to vacate a property has changed, and so has the amount of time that the landlord must move into that property if you ask the tenant to vacate. There's also a new provincial registry system that landlords are going to need to use. So in this video, we'll dive into 3 changes to BC's tenancy laws that you need to know about and how they might affect you, especially if you're looking to buy or sell a tenant-occupied property. I'm Tyrell Boake, a realtor in Kelowna, and on this channel, I help you navigate the real estate market and provide you with useful information so you can make informed decisions that make sense for you. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss out on future videos. And whenever you're ready and you'd like to book a call with me, hit the first link in the description where you can book a call at a time that works best for you. The BC Provincial Government announced significant changes to the Residential Tenancy Act that come into effect July 18th, 2024 that are designed to protect tenants. Under the RTA, a landlord can ask a tenant to vacate the property for personal use if the tenancy is on a month-to-month basis or it's at the end of a fixed-term tenancy. This usually occurs when the landlord wants to move into the property for personal use or for a caretaker's use, or the property's been sold and the new owners want to move into the property. There are 3 key changes being made to the regulations that the provincial government explains are designed to protect residential tenants from having their tenancy ended in bad faith. The first change is an extension of the notice period. Under the previous rules, you had to give a tenant a 2-month notice to vacate the property. As of July 18th, that is going to change to a 4-month notice period. This is something to keep in mind if you're looking to buy a tenanted property because most mortgages and mortgage approvals only have a 90 to 120 day lock-in period. That means your rate's locked in for 120 days. So if you're looking at buying a tenanted property, you need to make sure with your mortgage broker that you're still going to be able to secure that approval and that rate over a 4-month period. The other thing to keep in mind is that the notice period doesn't start the day that your deal becomes firm on that property you're buying, but the notice period starts the date that rent is due. So let's say your deal becomes firm, you pay your deposit on the 16th, but the tenant doesn't pay their rent till the 1st of the following month, the notice period starts on the 1st of that month, so effectively you could be waiting 4.5 months before the tenant vacates and you take possession of your new property. The other change to the notice period is that tenants will have 30 days to dispute notices to end tenancy, which is extended from 15 days. This gives them a full month to dispute whether or not they think that the notice to vacate is valid and for valid reasons. The other thing that's changing is the occupancy requirements. The individual moving into the property must occupy it for at least 12 months. Under the previous rules, you had to occupy it for 6 months, and that's being extended to 12 months now. And keep in mind that the person buying it has to be moving in for their own personal use, or the existing owner is moving into it for personal or caretaker use. And under the occupancy requirements, landlords found to be ending a tenancy in bad faith could be ordered to pay the displaced tenant 12 months' rent. The penalties are quite severe. If a landlord is found to be asking a tenant to move out in bad faith and they don't end up moving into the property for personal or caretaker's use, the penalty is up to 12 months of rent. So let's say that the rent is $2,500, this penalty would amount to $30,000. That's a significant penalty. Another change to the RTA and something that the province is bringing in as regulations for landlords is that they have a mandatory use of a Landlord Web Portal. Landlords must use this portal to generate notices to end tenancy for personal or caretaker use. This will give them the paperwork that they need to serve to their tenant to notify them that they need to vacate the property. The portal will require landlords to provide details about the persons moving into the home, and the details of the new occupant of the home will be shared with the tenant. This will give the tenant assurance that the tenancy is not being ended in bad faith and gives them a data point that they can go back in a year to confirm that the new requirements of the RTA have been met. While using the website portal, landlords will be given information about the required conditions for ending a tenancy and the penalties associated with ending the tenancy in bad faith. They will also be informed about the amount of compensation they will be required to issue to tenants when ending a tenancy. Currently, it's about 1 month's free rent if you end that tenancy in good faith. My advice is that if you're dealing with a tenanted occupied property, is to get legal advice and make sure you're following all the steps that are required. These are just a few of the things you'll need to navigate whether you're buying or selling a tenant-occupied property. The penalties can be quite severe, and just because you've sold the property and no longer own it doesn't necessarily mean that you're off the hook. Make sure you speak to the right experts and get legal advice before you make any decisions. And let me know what you think in the comments down below. Does this change your opinion about being a landlord, or does it change your opinion about buying an investment property? Or how does it make you feel as a tenant? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.